The first 2 episodes of Skeleton Crew released this week, and wow, they are packed with interesting references. To start, there's Fuzzball. This character was ripped right out of Captain EO, a 3D sci-fi short film from 1986 shown at Disney theme parks. Captain EO was written by Rusty Lemerande, Francis Ford Coppola, and none other than George Lucas. It was also co-produced by Disney and Lucasfilm, and George Lucas was the executive producer. Given that the story is linked to George Lucas and Lucasfilm, is from the 80s, and is set in space, I think it's clear to see the appeal of referencing this short film in Skeleton Crew, and I for one find the reference fun. Next, there's this ferryman. This is a teak, a species originally from the TV movie Ewoks: The Battle for Endor, which is part of the Legends continuity, but not canon. The teaks had originally already made it to canon before Skeleton Crew though, through the magazine Star Wars Build the Millennium Falcon 38 in 2015, and was later mentioned in another issue of that magazine, and in the books Last Shot and Force Collector. However, this reference is still nice to see, bringing the species back to live action. After this is the hologram Jobo, Jorko and Tulu were watching in episode 1. This also references an obscure Star Wars film, this time the Holiday Special, which also included this strange circus act. Fun fact, this performance was actually recreated just for this scene, as the old footage simply wasn't good enough. If you want to learn more about how this performance was remade, then StarWars.com has an amazing article on the matter, which I'll link in the description. Now there's Vane. Not much to say here, but this character is carried over from The Mandalorian Season 3. I think it's nice that characters can cross between shows like this, as it's just a simple thing that makes the universe feel more connected. Next there's an RX series pilot droid, which drives the school tram. These sorts of droids have shown up at Disney parks and in Star Wars Rebels. After this is Port Borgo. Port Borgo is originally from Star Wars Legends, where it was initially a Rakata colony, and years later became a centre of trade and commerce, and even later than that, a financial centre of the Imperial Remnant. Now there's SM-33. This droid's name is actually a reference to Mr. Smee, a pirate boatswain who served under Captain Hook from Peter Pan. This is also quite fitting, as the director of Skeleton Crew's second episode, David Lowery, directed the film Peter Pan and Wendy, which starred Jude Law as Captain Hook. Next, there's Bon Falfa. This is the guy who Fern wants to race in the first episode. He is actually named after Bob Falfa, Harrison Ford's character in American Graffiti, which was directed by George Lucas. After this is the talk of buried temples. In the first episode, Wim shared that some Jedi temples could bury themselves as a form of protection, and this is a reference to the Lothal Jedi Temple from Star Wars Rebels, which would bury itself underground. Now there's the tattoo the Klatooinian pirate was getting in episode 2. This is actually the Hutt Clan logo. I wonder if it means we could see the Hutts again at some point, although I understand it's just an Easter egg. Finally, there's the pet we see the Ithorian walking in episode 1. This is actually a frog dog, similar to Bubo from Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi. However, Bubo isn't exactly the same species as this one, as this one is an Atatin frog dog. From what little we know, this species isn't yet described in a way that suggests it could be sentient like Bubo's species, but who knows? Maybe this frog dog is the mastermind behind the whole of Atatin. I guess that would explain why the creature gets an entry on StarWars.com's databank. Anyway, that's all for now. I hope you are loving the array of Easter eggs and references in this show just as much as I am, and we hope to see you later at Vault Holocron.